Fresh off the presses from last night, October 16th, we've got Julia and Dr. Yamaguchi. All right, so let's take a look. We'll blow this up a bit. My focus is going to be mostly on Julia, just as Julia's getting ready for a fight. So we shall take a look. All right, here we go. I like that. So I like the way Julia does this thing, I think is very interesting. She'll throw the right hand, and after she throws it, she'll bring it halfway back. So there's a school of thought that's like, oh, bring it all the way back, protect your head. But I like that she leaves it out. There's a possibility she brings it halfway back of throwing it again. I would like to see it get thrown again. I'm gonna watch this again to see if it was possible. So let's just take a quick look. Maybe back up again. Sorry. So it wasn't possible. It wasn't in the right range. But I do dig that. So let's go. Sorry, guys. What I like here is Julia's using her lead hand. Julia, I like how you're using your Crawford taps to keep her hands busy. And it looks like you're Crawford tapping her power hand, the right side. So let's just take a look at that again. So we got to the jab hand, we got to the other hand, and that good level work. So you could see here. I'm going to slow this down. This will be somewhat unfair, but it will go to my point. When you come up, so what my point is going to be about, it's about the checking your timing when you come back up. Checking your timing is when you come back up from a roll and you want active hands. I like to say just sort of touching your forehead or your face. It's just a way to intercept anything coming in. So, for example, as we watch this, nice head movement. Here's the roll. Beautiful roll. No protection here. So even though there's a punch here, this hand's down. And you can see that's where the punch comes in. So both hands were down. If there was a place where you could have checked your timing, I think that would have gone better for you. And I think that's one of the things I know you're working on. Beautiful roll. Look at that roll. Beautiful roll. I know the legs are a little beautiful, beautiful roll. You come up into it. You come up into a punch, which is perfect. It's a beautiful roll to the left, and you come right in with that lead hook. It's textbook awesome. Whoosh! And look at that position. Look how she gets her hips over, and then the uncurling. Wham! Happened to miss, but we got hands down. That's why we took that punch. And now, right there, perfect. All right, let's get that speed back to normal. Well done. Just very well done. Again, nice feint. Nice readiness too. So I like we had that double feint. Let's watch that again. A beautiful double feint. And you picked off those punches. So the double feint, Pomai's tricky in that she throws. And what I like there is you did the double feint. There was a pause. You bought yourself a second. And I do think any other person, I think you would have bought more time. But Pomai is very quick to throw punches, which I like. She's just very quick to work. Beautiful feint and picked off punches. That was a nice up jab. I don't want to hear myself comment on the up jabs. Now, what I like too is this I find interesting. A you have a stop action claymation disposition. You'll start to move, and it looks like an old Godzilla movie where they'd have the monster, and it would be sort of like stop claymation, which I like. It's this herky jerky. You don't look human, so I want to get back to that, which I love. So you could see nice and fluid here, and now great defense, good head movement. I think I went too far back. Or not far back enough, sorry. Yeah, so it's right around that up jab time. Right here. Like you could see. So I don't know. Did you guys see that? There's that moment where it looks like either it looks claymation like it looks stop action, which is I just think is very cool. Right there and here, nice up jab, and I like by the way missed you turn southpaw there, which I thought was excellent. Here we are orthodox, southpaw, beautiful. Now I get so what happened here. Here's what did happen. You were southpaw, you switched back to orthodox by making yourself long, thereby creating distance. So what we're doing here in this defensive mindset, which I love, you were southpaw. All we did was drew back that front foot, and we got tons of separation. So I just want to see where this goes. I'm going to come back to this. So now it comes in with you moving forward. So you created all that space and then you moved forward. What I would think would have been better if your intention was to work your offense. So let's back up again. So here we are here. We're southpaw. Now, rather than switching again, if you had kept southpaw double jab, moving to your right, she would have had to face, she would have been facing this way. Then you could have got a couple punches off southpaw, then made yourself long. Then you could have had the space that you were looking for. I think that would have been, again, this is a hindsight 2020 moment. I think that would have worked better, but I do love that you were southpaw and that you made yourself long. It was a very smart decision. So here we are, southpaw, making yourself long. You have the distance. So not next time, but when you have that distance, so for those of you watching, if you need a moment, if you need a disengagement, you go from one stance, you withdraw, make yourself longer into the other. From there, you can go left or you can go right. You can keep that space. So you created space, you can keep that space. If you want, you can also go right back in. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's watch that again. And I do like that. Boom. We create space, and now, okay, now we're working that jab, and right there. So, Julia, those two moments of defense. So it was just good timing to add in that defense. Because there's no target there. And notice what Pomai didn't do. Pomai, who's always quick on that trigger, what Pomai didn't do was throw punches. Because there's nothing available. Nothing available, and then you initiated the shot downstairs, which I love. The only problem, Jules, you come back up, hands are low. So watch what happens. Look at this, by the way, great screenshot moment. I love that. I really love that. Look at that. I mean, perfect, just excellent. Boom. Hands down. See where your hands are? If Pomai were to come in with a double jab here, you would have gotten hit out of, something really creative. Now, look at that head movement. Let's go back again. Watch what happens here. So here we are. There's your head. Now there's your head. I love that. That is the definition. When we talk about get your head off the center line, that is getting your head off the center line. Brilliant, just brilliant stuff. Now, what could go there too is obviously a 3. It's fine that you didn't, but that could have gone there. Nice cross and excellent level changes. Now, what happened there? That was just so we got hit with a gruesome double jab. Nice defense. So I think that if we watch where the hands are, and again, Jules, this is This is I'm trying to think of the word. I gotta slow that down. I mean, we saw. I just want to really see. Love that. You got a reaction. Excellent job here. Now, the hands are a little, you can see where they are. Not that you have to be in high horns here, but this is interesting. Boom, boom. So you left it open. So you left the door open. So the hand heights, my original diagnosis is that the hand height was low. It's not that low. It's open. Yeah, the door's open. You can see the center stayed open. I think here, those little slips. Nice reaching for the cross. Beautiful job following up. Beautiful work right there. Let's put that in the real speed. Beautiful recovery. Yeah, you can see that the head was still. Beautiful recovery. I got to back up again because I just like that sequence. Good job. And nice. And not straight back. If you notice, she goes back and then circles. Going straight back, she would have wound up here. She goes back and then circles. So let's watch that exit again. Let's watch that one more time. Here's where she exits. Now, and by the way, exiting with parries, very nice. Very nice. Good defensive responsibility. Now, notice, so that too created huge space. So Pomai intelligently just, I'm out. So when we talk about, one of the things we've been working on too is that 3 second rule. So we could see here, Pomai said, I'm out. I want to back up a little bit more because I like that interaction. Because it's a very big boom. We got that jab. We got that cross. Julia's got momentum, and you could see Julia's feeling it. So I like that Pomai disengaged. Julia's feeling herself. She's just got that. She's getting that swagger going, and Pomai disengages, creating an awful lot of space. Look at all that space. Now both fighters have time to see, think, and decide. And what I like best is sees she's got momentum. I'm getting out. Julia has been somewhat aggressive in this last sort of 20 seconds. 10 to 20 seconds, Julie's been a little on the aggressive side. So I'm going to back out, and then let's see what develops here. And then Julia with a good disengagement. I don't want to hear myself. Julia with a very good disengagement. So there's a momentum shift. Julia's got the momentum. Let's go back up a little more. So Julia, boom. This is Julia momentum. Pomai's trying to get some of it back, get some get back. She stays in the fifth fish. She's like, no, I'm out. And now Pomai's slowly coming forward. Julia's like, you know what? I'm out. You're not getting your get back. I love that. Let's watch that again. So that's Julia with momentum. Pomai deals, goes, you know what? I'm out. And then Pomai's inching like a serial killer, goes, okay, I'm going to get some get back here. And Pomai's going to get her get back. And Julia's like, yep, I'm out. I'm not going to play that game. Let's go back because I really like that. Boom. Watch the decision right there. Decision to get out of the way. Okay, I'm going to... Julie's like, nope. And Julie, if you notice on this time, your head moved. If you remember over here, you got hit with that double jab. You still had your hands moving, but your head didn't move. And here, your head moved. See how your head moved? And you landed a nice shot. Nice frame. Now, beautiful work. What I would have liked to have seen, maybe some jabs on your entry there, because you're just kind of walking into her. So you're just kind of walking. Nice shot. Which, if you're walking because if your decision making here is Pomai's going to be working. So if you're walking with the intent of picking off punches, um, I'm all for that. If it's just a matter of no, I was just walking and I just was sort of not thinking, then what we need to do is we need to be entering in behind something. But it again another but it does work for you. Pomai with some nice punches. All right, what happened there for Pomai? Because Pomai, you took a big shot here. Okay, so Pomai, I think this might be a thing with you. You tend to drop that lead hand, leading to Julia had that nice looping right hook or overhand right. So let's take a look. Excellent use of that. Boom. Boom with the hook. Now, see where your hand is? This cannot happen. And you could see this is coming a short path and that's down. Good rolling with the punch. And nice. And I love you got your hands right back up there, Pomai. Excellent job. Let's see that again. Beautiful job. Takes a shot, hands come right back for responsibility, and a slip right, a roll. Good work. And boom, disengage. Or just getting out of this position. I love smart defense. Nice slip and roll, da da da. And again, for Pomai, even for you, da 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 with some jabs. Why give her the opportunity? So you can see, so you're in trouble here. You're like, yep, this is a bad spot. Jab, jab, jab. If you jabbed on the way, Julie got that right hand. And nice change of pace. And let's watch this a second. Watch, Julia goes from a Philly shell guard into high horns. Philly shell, head movement, into good jab, into high horns. Completely different guard positions. So if you're a fighter fighting that, and someone's in that they got that Philly shell guard, okay, you've got your data, she's in the Philly shell guard. Then all of a sudden, nope, now they're in high horns. Now it's something completely different. I love those every 10 seconds is a new opportunity for something. And again, that 10 seconds, doesn't have to be 10 seconds. It's the idea that just that constant sort of changing and shifting. Just good stuff. Right into a high horns, a little disengagement, and right into that good head movement and defense. Nice uppercut. Again, was that a stance switch? A little bit. Boom. So, again, not a total hindsight 2020 thing. You had that nice southpaw stance, maybe a double jab southpaw. Pop, pop. And then switch. Again, that's a nice right hand. Maybe I should shut the fuck up. Let me see that right hand again. Boom. One more time. Sorry, Pomai. Boom. Boom. So what's set up? That was a nice right hand. Let's see what set that up. We got nice punches here. That good up, good. Boom. And watch the control on the exit. Watch what she does with the lead hand. Ready? Here comes the big right. Boom. So that's a way you don't get to work. I'm going to hit you with a big right hand. And now I'm going to, a nice little touch. You could also have left that on there for a moment and backed away. But I like your choice. You hit the glove. Just good choice. Excellent head move. Nice head feints. Let's watch those head feints. Watch this. There's no punches thrown. And watch all the work. Watch all this work. Let's check this out. I want to see from that last. All right, so there's some punches. Light little punch there. Look at how long. How long are we going without punching? I love these moments. Little chess match. Let's get back there again. Pomai throws a nice jab. Julia answers in kind. Moves that head. Throws that nice little cross. Pomai with a little nope. Thought I had it. Don't have it. And now it's just a head movement battle, footwork battle. Great disengagements by Julia there. Both slip right. Nice tie up. Beautiful tie up. I want to see that tie up again. Boom. That's a great tie up. They're like, nope, no one's gonna get the advantage here. We both nothing. No, boom, great tie up. Look at that big right hand. High back to high horns. Excellent round. Excellent, excellent, excellent round. Um, yeah, just a fantastic, fantastic round. So you've got my feedback throughout. I just think again, you two are just you're so good together. Um, yeah, it's just a really great round. And again, the main focus there was Julia. Um, so I just wanted to make sure again, Julia has a fight coming up. I wanted to make sure I gave her some feedback. And but a fantastic round, great learning round for everybody. So hope everyone got something out of it. And great work, ladies.